which is our proclamation, consideration of proclamation commending the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County, and B, consideration of participation in Operation Greenlight. Supervisor Sabatier will be reading this proclamation.
So before I read the present the proclamation, need to get the approval from the board. Just to give a little bit of background, recently my good friend Bob Hopkins passed away. And at his memorial at the American Legion, I was moved yet again by the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County and recognized the amount of time that I've seen them in my short amount of years that I've been here in Lake County. They've probably made me cry more often than anyone else in my life for good reasons, to remember the people we love. And they do more than just the funeral honors team. They do a lot for our community. And I walked away from that memorial speaking with Chris Talafero, who works hand in hand with veterans as well, and said, I need to do a proclamation. I feel that this is a team that doesn't get enough acknowledgement for the work that they do in our community and how important they are to our community. And how many people they touch. And so today is a proclamation that I've worked with Mr. Talafero to bring to you, and I hope that we get the approval so that we can go ahead and move forward. Part B, by chance, as I was working on this, I received an email from the National Association of Counties. This started in New York State and is now grown to a national phenomenon where on Veterans Day, for the week of Veterans Day, I believe it's from the 7th, so as of yesterday, all the way to the 13th, there's a request to light up our public facilities with green lights, and it's called Operation Greenlight. And the idea behind Operation Greenlight is to put a spotlight on veteran issues, veteran services, and the needs of our veterans in our communities. And so we do have the ability to have our lights on. I've worked with Mr. Ewing. By chance, there was a surprise purchase that was done, so they're ready for us, but I felt it was needed to have an approval from the board if we're going to change the lights on the courthouse, rather than somebody asking and saying Supervisor Sabatier made that happen. I think it would need approval from us. So today, asking for approval for Part A and also approval for Part B, and look forward to the approval.
All right. So the proclamation, do you want to just read that, or?
That's the next item, 6.4.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on 6.3. Okay.
I was confused at first too, but
Supervisor Simon, did you have something?
We figured it out.
No, I was thinking we had approved this in the consent agenda, but I understand now we did not. All right, okay.
All right.
It's a little different today.
Okay.
So Operation Greenlight, any comments about that? I'm pretty much in support of it, so. All right, I'll open it up to the public for any comments on this. Not seeing any, I'll bring it back. As I'm seeing on Zoom, there's no hands up, so I'll bring it back to the board for its action, right?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the proclamation commending the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County and approve the participation in Operation Greenlight.
All right.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries. And our item 6.4 is presentation of proclamation commending the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County for their endless and thankless support of our military veterans and their families. And Supervisor Sabatier will be reading this proclamation.
And if Mr. Perez and his team can please come up for recognition, that would be great. And I tried to put all my thoughts in the proclamation, so I'll keep my other words as brief as possible. But thank you so much for being here today. And again, thank you for what you do, not just for veterans, but their families and to our community. I find your service to be very special. Proclamation commending the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County for the endless and thankless support of our military veterans and their families. Whereas in May 2001, the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County was certified as a provider in the Department of Defense Military Funeral Honors Program. And whereas the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County provides a 3-volley rifle salute the playing of the taps, and the presentation of the flag to the next of kin, which is usually where I start crying, is the taps and the flag, by the branch of military the veteran was in. And whereas in the last 21 years, this one's amazing, the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County has provided over 1,750 funerals for the veteran community of Lake County. Whereas the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County has participated for over 1 decade in the Clear Lake Flag Ceremony in Austin Park for both the raising of the flag around Memorial Day and the lowering of the flag around Veterans Day. And whereas the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County is made up of volunteers, all veterans of the Armed Forces of the United States. And whereas the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County provides their services without soliciting donations, but they do take donations if you offer. Whereas the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County offers numerous services for the community at large, such as the posting of the flag for schools, carrying the flag in parades, and so much more. Whereas the Lake County Board of Supervisors recognizes the sizable veteran population in the county and their vast contribution to our nation, all the way down to our communities. And whereas that sizable veteran population only emphasizes the importance of the role that is played by the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County in recognizing our veterans and their families, both in celebration and in mourning of our deceased veterans. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Lake recognizes the vast contributions of the Military Funeral Honors Team of Lake County for their unconditional support of our local veterans and their families during the most trying of times in recognizing their service and their courage. Passed and adopted this 8th day of November 2022 and signed by our chair.
Thank you very much. You know, I tell this to the team every year, and I'll tell it to you now. I've never been more honored to stand in line with these guys right here. This is not our whole team, but I was in the Marine Corps, so I was next to a lot of awesome people. These gentlemen, and we've had ladies on our team. I don't want to call them gentlemen, but it is my lifetime honor to stand with these guys. We've had guys on our team that had 10 minutes of energy left in their bodies, literally. We would take chairs out and they'd sit in the chair until it was time to stand and fire our rifles. They would stand up and fire and wait till taps was done and sit down again. That 10 minutes they gave to somebody else. What more could you do? And you're right. I've been on the team 11 years now, and one of these guys has been on longer than me. I think he's been on about 50 years. But I bet you there isn't one of us that during taps or the presentation of flags doesn't shed a tear, no matter how long we've been doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to say anything? Thank you so much.
I'd just like to add, if there's any veterans tuning in or listening, it would be an honor to reach out to Mr. Perez, as at times they would need some other volunteers for veterans. Just wanted to give that shout out. I know Bob's asked me before, and so I'm gonna have to set up some time to work with him, get back up to par. It's been a while since I've worked with the rifle, and so and anybody else that's a veteran, it would be it probably help some of these gentlemen out. I'll call them gentlemen, and I think it would be very well welcomed. So, is there anyone else that has? I see some people that would like to speak. Please come up to the microphone. And
Nancy Mitchell, County Veterans Service Office. I would like to invite all public to the Veterans Day ceremony this Friday, 11 o'clock, Canocti Vista Casino, and you can actually watch this team in action.
All right, I seen a hand in the back of the room. Is there? No? Oh, okay, I thought Denver had his hand up. Yes, Saul, please come up.
Good morning, Board, and everyone else present. My name is Saul Sanabria, Veteran Service Officer for this beautiful county. And words really cannot describe the level of time and effort that goes into each and every one of those moments where this professional team makes the honor of presentation of flags and everything else, the respect that each and every one of the families and members of the community deserve. Without going any further, all I can say is
Just getting there.
thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other, anybody else that would like to speak about this item on the agenda? Hearing none or seeing no hands up, I'll bring it back to the board. It looks like Supervisor Sabatier would like to say something.
And similar to the Veterans Day event, also, I know on November 15th, the lowering of the flag in Clear Lake will be occurring. Unfortunately, it will be happening on a Tuesday, so I will not be able to be there, but that is a beautiful ceremony as well. And because Veterans Day is coming up this Friday, and I've already spoken with our CAO, we'll be working on a press release in order to highlight Operation Greenlight and explain it and provide some details on where veterans can find information and services available to them. So we'll make sure that that comes out. And again, thank you so much for all coming today.
And Bob, would it be okay if I gave out your number in case there's veterans listening that would like to touch base with you and volunteer?
Sure.
Okay. Bob's number is 707-277-9401. Again, reach out to Bob as a veteran and offer your services. We all were trained the same way when it comes to the rifles and conducting this ceremony. So thank you again. All right.
You got right here.
Oh, sorry, Supervisor Green. I did.
Yeah, just very quickly, I do want to thank the team. I was at the event last year at the casino, and I believe it's the first one we'd had for a while because of COVID. And I was very moved by that ceremony, so I want to echo, yeah, you'll be shedding tears when you go to this, but what struck me about last year's ceremony was how happy it was too. It was really a celebration of life. It was a celebration of service to our country, and those who have passed before us were honored appropriately. And I think also the younger people who were in attendance learned valuable lessons about the importance of public service. So I would encourage those people who think Friday would just be, a bunch of dusty old veterans, maybe, but I think there'll be young people there. I think there'll be words of inspiration, and both of my parents served in the Air Force, so I am proud of your service here today. It's very helpful to the community, and I encourage everyone to come out Friday. Thank you.
Yes. I'll open public input back up.
I would like to say one more thing. Lake County has the largest veteran community per capita of any county in California. So I guess that's why we're so busy.
Thank you for that note and information. With that, I'll close public input, bring it back to the board, and I think we've covered. And so thank you again, and we're going to move on to our next item on the agenda.